So this week we are recommending getting creative and making Mother's Day cards. Now, making cards can be exciting and fun and just a nice activity to do together, but it also is a very personal thing to do, and it allows you to be able to really express yourself and how you feel about the people you're making the card for. And there are so many ways to do it. And just like in journaling, art journaling, and scrapbooking, as many of you know, you can have a massive amount of materials and things that you can do. Your creativity is your limit. It's anything goes, and you definitely want it to be something that expresses yourself and everything else that can go with it. So I understand that with little ones, it's not always easy to rein them in. So I have given you some opportunities to just print out. With this one, I have an I Love You Mom that's a color print. You can have them do fingerprints, and they can do fingerprints and do different types of images around this one for that Mother's Day card. They can do one that is a couple different images that were here that you can just color and then cut out and put onto cardstock, or you can print onto cardstock and you can color, paint, emboss, do anything you like to do, scrap on it. This one also is another image that you can use, and I got like 3 different images for you for multiple cards if you want to make them for different people, or just to be able to have some fun with the different imagery. I was doing some watercolor the other day, so I'm working on something like this to have a little fun with that as well for my own cards. But it's all a matter of what is your desire. There are different things like stamps. I have different kinds of stamps. This one says a mother is someone who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. I love that one. You can use crafting tape to decorate your pages, a glue, of course, some of the different scrapbooking for edges. You can cut out different shapes. You can do a variety of different things. Of course, with the stamping, you can emboss. You can do different ink pads. You can cut out different shapes and sizes using different materials. And of course, anything else here goes. So along with these particular cards, I also have like some scrapbooking kind of simple cards book you can give you some ideas that can also help you with like just having some fun, doing different layers, to be able to give it a little bit of depth and texture. And you can even sew onto it with like some buttons, or glue the buttons, or different stickers. You can, of course, add even like ribbon and different kinds of things that you want to add for different texture and layers. For different kinds of stuff, you can have things sticking out. You can paper punch holes and add different details to it. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. And one suggestion I had is to cut out a picture that you can then put in the center and make it into somewhat of a picture frame as well, so that you can have that as be part of your card as an idea for you to do. So anything goes. With those pictures, you can cut out the picture. You can also use mounting tape, where that actually mounts onto the corners, and it gives it a little bit more professional picture look, more framed look. You can also use clear adhesive dots to help give it a little bit of depth and also adhere to the paint, or regular glue. It's really up to you, like what you want and the kinds of stuff that's out there. Different kinds of cardstock can be plain and different colors that you like, and as well as different kinds of cardstock that can also be different color blocks, so that you can create different levels that may be more interesting to you, or add different kinds of texture to your piece. And that gives you a whole bunch more options that's available to you for making cards. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that. So as I gave you some suggestion lists for the materials, I wanted to also be able to show you different types of things that are available, if you don't already know that right now. And you can, I'm sure you could go and find even more at the different craft store, your local craft store. It's incredible. Sometimes I find myself going there just for fun to see what else is available and what other things I could try to experiment with for another card for someone else, or just to see what else is out there. So to this week, I'm gonna focus for everybody to try to use the ones that I gave you as ideas, just to make it a little easier to follow along. So what we're going to do first is we're going to, I printed these out on regular printer paper, and I'm going to now just use a paper. I have a mini one. I'm just going to cut the paper. You can do whatever works for you on your imageries, and then you can use scissors to allow yourself to do whatever it is that you're looking for. You can also, like, from the cardstock, you can decide if you want to do different layers, so that maybe you want to do like several layers for this and give it kind of a lot of depth. So you can cut it real close, you can cut it like with the frame, you can cut this directly and glue it onto one and then glue one onto another, and I think that's what I'm going to do to give it just a little bit more oomph and have a little more fun with this particular one. And then you can decide if you want to do it more of a landscape or more of a portrait, and that gives you also some options for your cards and how you're developing them. So I'm going to start cutting and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I did my cutting and I did a couple little backing, different types of what I did as far as like printouts, and I created a couple different cards that you can do with the cardstock. Did a couple different layers here for one of them, so you can open that up. I also did one for the I love you mom, nice bright color for the little ones to have fun, trying to be able to draw their own little pictures. Maybe they can do a little picture with mom here, there, and then of course whatever you want to put on the inside. And then I also grabbed this one as an idea because I did the nice colorful foil, but then with this one I'm putting together a one that I can use with some of the stickers, these different types of tape, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to see what happens there. So I'm going to do this one because of the different textures and see how it looks. So we give it a go and go from there, and then have a little fun with that look as well. But this way you can create your own little texture pattern that you like, a way to give yourself even a little bit more creativity, a little bit more fun, and just sort of allow that to happen here. And then that way you can paint it, color it, but this gives you a little bit more of that framed look, and then you can move it around. This is what's nice about this kind of tape, is you can take it off, you can adjust it, you can do whatever you want really, and that's what's kind of fun about these. Of course, it's homemade, and it's something that comes from you and your heart and the things that you want to share with the people that you're making the cards for. So again, this could be for your mom, or have the child do it with you, that they can make for you, with the parents, with the aunts and uncles, with grandparents. You can make something there as well, and then you can just make some things on your own. But here I did the little tape around, so it gives it even a little extra layer and texture with that card. And again, just open it up and you can do the stamp on the interior if you like, or let them write something and sign their name, or whatever comes to mind, a prayer, a song, something that is meaningful to you guys, and just have fun with whatever is in there, whatever's in your heart. But having a good time with making these is always a good activity. All right, so what you can also do on the interior, this gives you the idea that you can paint it. You can color it, you can mix media it, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can even add things to it to give it layers, like you could put buttons in the middle, and you can sew, actually physically sew through the material. There's a whole bunch of other activities that you can do just to keep it interesting. Whatever you have available in your little stash for art supplies, I would go ahead and use it and see what comes to mind, and that gives you a little bit more options for your creativity as well. And then what I was going to show you here is I've been working on my little watercolor mixed media here, and I thought it would be kind of fun to see what the stamp would look like with this as a Mother's Day idea. So I'm going to get my little ink pad here, and I'm going to try that as well. And I just got a pretty little bird stamp, and I'm just going to apply the ink. If you're dealing with young children, you're going to want to have water-soluble ink pads, just for that basic reason of getting their fingers in there, especially if they're going to do fingerprints and make with different things with the fingerprints. But it gives you some options. And I kind of feel like putting it right here in the middle of the drawing. Let's see what happens. Oh, there you go. So here we have a nice little bird stamp, and here what's nice about this is because it's a watercolor mixed media, with the dark of the ink that I have there, that gives me some options. I can go back in and color it with my marker or a color pencil, or go back in with my watercolors and make some colors, a variation with my bird as well. And that gives me some other options I can do. I can maybe make a couple different bird choices and see what I can do there, and just have some more fun with both the mixed media aspect of it, as well as just seeing what it can do for me. So that was kind of fun to be able to kind of see what it looks like together, and I can't wait to see what the end will be. So that's the most important part about any of these activities, is that I'm just cleaning this one, is that all of these things are just about your opportunity to have some fun together, an activity to do and talk about the things, the memories, the things that mean something to you, but also create something that comes from your heart that you feel is a way for you to express yourself and your love for each other. So I want to be able to thank you for listening, and hope you guys have a great time. Please post your cards, your pictures, and your activities. I really appreciate that. Thank you, and have a wonderful Mother's Day.